Climate. Seoul has a humid continental climate influenced by the monsoons. Being in the extreme East Asia, the climate can be described as humid subtropical with great variation in temperature and precipitation throughout the year. The suburbs of Seoul are generally cooler than the center of Seoul because of the urban heat island effect. Summers are hot and humid, with the East Asian monsoon taking place from June until September. August, the hottest month, has average high and low temperatures of 32.6 and 23.4 degrees Celsius with higher temperatures possible. Heat index values can surpass 40 degrees Celsius at the height of summer. Winters are usually cold to freezing with average January high and low temperatures of 1.5 and 5.9 degrees Celsius, and are generally much drier than summers, with an average of 24 days of snow annually. Sometimes, temperatures drop dramatically to below 10 degrees Celsius, and on some occasions as low as 15 degrees Celsius in the midwinter period of January and February. Temperatures below 20 degrees Celsius have been recorded. Bus. Seoul's bus system is operated by the Seoul Metropolitan Government, with 4 primary bus configurations available servicing most of the city. Seoul has many large intercity express bus terminals. These buses connect Seoul with cities throughout South Korea. The Seoul Express Bus Terminal, Central City Terminal and Seoul Nambu Terminal are located in the district of Seocho District. In addition, East Seoul Bus Terminal in Gwangjin District and Sangbong Terminal in Jeonnam District handles traffics mainly from Gangwon and Gyeonggi provinces. Air quality. Air pollution is a major issue in Seoul. According to the 2016 World Health Organization Global Urban Ambient Air Pollution Database, the annual average PM2.5 concentration in 2014 was 24 micrograms per cubic meter, which is 2.4 times higher than that recommended by the WHO air quality guidelines for the annual mean PM2. The Seoul Metropolitan Government monitors and publicly shares real-time air quality data. Since the early 1960s, the Ministry of Environment has implemented a range of policies and air pollutant standards to improve and manage air quality for its people. The Special Act on the Improvement of Air Quality in the Seoul metropolitan area was passed in December 2003. Its first Seoul Metropolitan Air Quality Improvement Plan focused on improving the concentrations of PM10 and nitrogen dioxide by reducing emissions. As a result, the annual average PM10 concentrations decreased from 70.0 gm3 in 2001 to 44.4 gm3 in 2011 and 46 gm3 in 2014. As of 2014, the annual average PM10 concentration was still at least twice than that recommended by the WHO air quality guidelines. The second Seoul Metropolitan Air Quality Improvement Plan added PM2.5 and ozone to its list of managed pollutants. Asian dust, emissions from Seoul and in general from the rest of South Korea, as well as emissions from China, all contribute to Seoul's air quality. A partnership between researchers in South Korea and the United States is conducting an international air quality field study in Korea to determine how much each source contributes. Besides air quality, greenhouse gas emissions represent hot issues in South Korea since the country is among top 10 strongest emitters in the world. Seoul is the strongest hotspot of greenhouse gas emissions in the country, and according to satellite data, the persistent carbon dioxide anomaly over the city is one of the strongest in the world. Economy. Seoul is the business and financial hub of South Korea. Although it accounts for only 0.6% of the nation's land area, 48.3% of South Korea's bank deposits were held in Seoul in 2003, and the city generated 23% of the country's GDP overall in 2012. In 2008, the Worldwide Centers of Commerce Index ranked Seoul number 9. The Global Financial Centers Index in 2015 listed Seoul as the 6th financially most competitive city in the world. The Economist Intelligence Unit ranked Seoul 15th in the list of overall 2025 city competitiveness regarding future competitiveness of cities. History. Settlement of the Han River area, where present-day Seoul is located, began around 4000 BC. Seoul is first recorded as Wariseong, the capital of Beekj in the northeastern area of modern Seoul. There are several city walls remaining in the area that date from this time. Pungnapto-seong, an earthen wall located southeast Seoul, is widely believed to have been at the main Wiri-seong site. As the three kingdoms competed for this strategic region, control passed from Beech to Goguryeo in the 5th century, and from Goguryeo to Silla in the 6th century. In the 11th century Goryeo, which succeeded unified Silla, built a summer palace in Seoul, which was referred to as the southern capital. It was only from this period that Seoul became a larger settlement. When Joseon replaced Goryeo, the capital was moved to Seoul, where it remained until the fall of the dynasty. The Gyeongbok Palace, built in the 14th century, served as the royal residence until 1592. The other large palace, Changdeokgung, constructed in 1405, served as the main royal palace from 1611 to 1872. After Joseon changed her name to the Korean Empire in 1897, Hwangseong also designated Seoul. Originally, the city was entirely surrounded by a massive secular stone wall to provide its citizens security from wild animals, thieves and attacks. The city has grown beyond those walls, and although the wall no longer stands, the gates remain near the downtown district of Seoul, including most notably Sungneoman and Heungginjeoman. During the Joseon dynasty, the gates were opened and closed each day, accompanied by the ringing of large bells at the Basingak belfry. In the late 19th century, after hundreds of years of isolation, Seoul opened its gates to foreigners and began to modernize. Seoul became the first city in East Asia to introduce electricity in the royal palace, built by the Edison Illuminating Company, and a decade later Seoul also implemented electrical streetlights. Much of the development was due to trade with foreign countries like France and the United States. For example, the Seoul Electric Company, Seoul Electric Trolley Company, and Seoul Fresh Spring Water Company were all joint Korean-owned enterprises. In 1904, an American by the name of Angus Hamilton visited the city and said, "The streets of Seoul are magnificent, spacious, clean, admirably made and well drained. The narrow, dirty lanes have been widened, gutters have been covered, roadways broadened. Seoul is within measurable distance of becoming the highest, most interesting and cleanest city in the East." After the annexation treaty in 1910, Japan annexed Korea and renamed the city Gyeongseong. Japanese technology was imported, the city walls were removed, some of the gates demolished. Roads became paved and Western-style buildings were constructed. The city was liberated by U.S. forces at the end of World War II. In 1945, the city was officially named Seoul, and was designated as a special city in 1949. During the Korean War, Seoul changed hands between the Soviet Chinese-backed North Korean forces and the American-backed South Korean forces several times, leaving the city heavily damaged after the war. The capital was temporarily relocated to Busan. One estimate of the extensive damage states that after the war, at least 191,000 buildings, 55,000 houses, and 1,000 factories lay in ruins. In addition, a flood of refugees had entered Seoul during the war, swelling the population of the city and its metropolitan area to an estimated 1.5 million by 1955. Following the war, Seoul began to focus on reconstruction and modernization. As South Korea's economy started to grow rapidly from the 1960s, urbanization also accelerated and workers began to move to Seoul and other larger cities. From the 1970s, the size of Seoul administrative area greatly expanded as it annexed a number of towns and villages from several surrounding counties. Until 1972, Seoul was claimed by North Korea as its de jure capital, being specified as such in Article 103 of the 1948 North Korean Constitution. South Korea's 2019 population was estimated at 51.71 million, and according to the 2018 population and housing census, 49.8% of the population resided in the Seoul metropolitan area. This was up by 0.7% from 49.1% in 2010, showing a distinct trend toward the concentration of the population in the capital. Seoul has become the economic, political and cultural hub of the country, with several Fortune Global 500 companies, including Samsung, SK Holdings, Hyundai, POSCO and LG Group headquartered there. Seoul was the host city of the 1986 Asian Games and 1988 Summer Olympics, as well as one of the venues of the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Gyeongbokgung, the main royal palace during Joseon dynasty. Changdeok Palace, one of the 5 royal palaces during Joseon dynasty. Seoul, officially known as the Seoul Special City, is the capital and largest metropolis of South Korea. According to the 2020 census, Seoul has a population of 9.9 million people, and forms the heart of the Seoul capital area with the surrounding Incheon metropolis and Gyeonggi province. It is considered to be a global city and rated as an alpha city by Globalization and World Cities Research Network. Seoul was the world's 4th largest metropolitan economy in 2014 after Tokyo, New York City and Los Angeles.